All right. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, the men who taught me this truth. I would like to say shalom to you, Akim, and you, Fuakwath, your men, women, and little ones that believe on the words of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. It's your brother Michael Allah coming at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shah, Lord willing to edify. And the title of this lesson is simply, you ain't missing out on nothing. You know, you ain't missing out on nothing. You see, and the inspiration of this video was, a thought that I had, the other day. And just to comfort, the elect, that you ain't missing out on shit, like you see the way that this world is, man. You see the wicked, prosper or so-called prosper, because these folks ain't really prospering, man. I've been seeing this Stream University stuff going on, this folly, with this dude Cassinet, dealing, with the younger generation, of course, and you just had the World Games, you had your NBA Finals, and it's like the mirth is at its lowest, but, to a certain extent, it seems like these people are still somewhat prospering, even though we see the plagues on a daily, even though the Lord is, ramping up the judgments, it's not hidden, on a larger scale to where it's catching the attentions of the masses of the people. You see, these people live business as usual, daily routines, And it's just like these people do not consider, and mainly you Israelites, don't consider the ways of Yahweh Shema Shah and how the scenery of this place, America, is shifting into a dark scene, man. You see, a real demonic scene. And it's really the Lord snaring these people, That's why, we ain't missing out on shit. Because even though these people may have a little, bread in their pocket to move around, you see these folks traveling and shit a lot, basically living it up in hell. Esau's still doing his wickedness, and he hasn't been judged on a larger scale yet. The missiles haven't been shot off, Jacob's trouble hasn't reached its peak, but the Lord is snaring these people, man. Don't get caught up in how you see these people live, because they're faking it, man. Like, at the end of the day, after they pop them bottles, smoke they hookahs, go jet skiing, go skydiving, after all that, these people behind closed doors are fucking miserable, man. You see, they don't know, especially Jake, they don't know Yahweh Shema Shah, You see these women, still able to do what they want to do, still clubbing, taking girls trips to Jamaica, doing all types of shit. But at the end of the day, these people are miserable. And we've been blessed to understand these people's fate. And what is the ultimate fate of all these people outside this council? These people are going to fucking die, man. And that's something they don't know. They don't know that the Lord is about to destroy them, man. And destroy this place, America. Because guess what? We're seeing the famine increase on these people. Just because they ain't fucking seeing it doesn't mean it's not happening. They just oversee America. Esau has conditioned the minds of your average American to overlook, you know what I'm saying, these things that go on in these other countries like Cuba, you know, suffer power outages, still in power outages, you know, Puerto Rico, these different third world countries, see them go through hell. Esau's condition the average American that, oh, that'll never hit this place. You know, they've been puffed up with pride that, you know, oh, that'll never happen to America. Or we got generators, so if the power go out, our generators is gonna be able to sustain us. You know, always got a counterattack for prophecy in their, you know, small little brain. You know, but at the end of the day, like I said, the Lord's going to destroy these people, man. So you hopeful elect ain't missing out on shit, man. You know, this Matthew 19 and verse 27, it says, then answered Peter and said unto him, behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have therefore? So the disciples, you know, inquired of Yahushua, mainly Peter, which is the head apostle, inquired, you know, Yahushua, you know, Lord, we forsaken everything. You know, what we gonna get out of this, so to speak, you know? And when you come into this truth, you know, that question is already answered. You see, and really Yahushua answered it as we continue to read. It says, and Yahushua said unto them, verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, which is reincarnation, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. So what did Yahushua say the reward would be? Ultimately, rulership, man. You see? And what comes with Yahushua's rulership? Number one, those new bodies, you know? Immortality. We'll never be able to die again. You'll never get a bad, nasty cough again, you know? You wouldn't have back pain, you know? You wouldn't have, you know, baby mama drama, you know? The kingdom, everything is going to be in order, you know? It says, and everyone that have forsaken houses or brethren, sisters, fathers, mother, wives, children, or lands for my name's sakes shall receive an hundredfold and shall inherit everlasting life. You see? So everlasting life is on the table, man. And that doesn't compare to these little 15 minutes of fame that these people has accumulated in this society today. And you got to look at, you know, other previous kingdoms before America. These kingdoms, those kingdoms are no longer here. You see, people had the same mindset of living it up, you know. Just go back during the time of Noah. The Lord tells you how people were maneuvering back then during the time of Noah before the flood. Everybody was drinking, marrying, giving in marriage, you know. And it tells you that they knew not until the flood came. So how much more, you know, that spiritual flood, you know, oh, through that lake of fire, you see, through those thermonuclear missiles, you see, which is going to burn this place, America, you know, to the core, man. Burn all the works that are in this place, man. How much more when the Lord shoot them missiles to this place? You think your average American is thinking about missiles hitting America? You know, you got to think about how far gone and really, you know, unwise these people of this world is, man. You know, the Lord is snaring these folks. You see? So they're going to die. But those of us who the Lord put the Spirit upon to forsake these list of things, you know, we understand and know that we ain't doing it for no reason. We doing it because the Lord promised a reward at the end of the tunnel, man. You see? But as for these average people, these are the things that they're holding on to. They holding on to the last seconds of America, man. You know? That's why they're going to look to save their life in these times when their chip is mandatory. Because they think that this is the kingdom. You know, they think that this is the end all be all, man. But that just shows you the strong delusion that the Lord has placed upon these people. This Isaiah 51:14, it says, the captive exile hasteneth that he may be loosed, and that he should not die in the pit, nor that his bread should fail. You see? So the captive exile hasteneth that he may be loosed. See, we hastening these plagues to consume these people. We hastening the destruction of this place, America. That's why, you know, just like Jeremiah said, the words of the Lord is like a fire burning within us, to where we can't help but to speak against this place. You see? Because you're going to see something, you know, that you just got to, we just got to say something about it, man. You know? The Lord just has the spirit on us to speak out against this place. Naturally, to just be against this place, man. Just like I mentioned with the Extreme University shit. You just look at, you got grown ass men playing around like fucking children all day, man. And you just got silly women gathering abroad, being freaks, you know, all type of wickedness happening behind the cameras, you know. And it just shows you, you know, how Jake has really became comfortable in this place, America. And how, you know, low level these people is, man. You know? Because these are the new leaders of this generation. It is a bunch of fucking streamers. Hey, chat. Thanks for the gifts, chat. All that bullshit. You know? But them dumbass niggas honestly believe that the Lord's gonna keep this stupid ass shit going, man. That's not gonna happen. So our bread is not gonna fail, man, which is these prophecies. You see? Our bread is not failing, man. The Lord is definitely working the work in the earth, man. And he's gonna continue to do it until this place is utterly burned with fire, man. You see? And the Lord has the spirit on us to keep speaking the destruction until it actually physically manifests, man. Because this shit can't keep going on like this, man. And for those of you who still want this place to keep going, well, you just keep doing what you do, and you just be ready, you know, to feel the wrath of the Lord, man. You know? It says the captive exile hasteneth that he may be loose, and that he should not die in the pit. And what's the pit? America, man. Because the believers, we don't want to die here, man. We don't want to die with these people, man. You know? It says, nor that his bread should fail. You know? We don't want to die here with these people, man. That's why we hoping and praying that Yahweh Shemal Washai, you know, have mercy upon us, man. And we in a time where the Lord is being real clemency with his elect, you know? What you go into that word clemency, it goes back to being leniency, you know? Very merciful, you know? And we need all the mercy that the Lord can give us, seeing that we in the time of Jacob's trouble, man. Because the Lord is going to kill 2/3 of Jake, man. So, yeah, you may see Jake somewhat prospering. Jake got a little bread in his pocket. You know what I mean? Gas prices ain't really affecting these niggas like that. You know, they still able to move around. But the Lord gonna kill these niggas, man. at the end of the day. You see? It's 1 John 2:15. It says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. You see? So we're not supposed to love the ways of this world, man. Because Yahweh Shema Shai is not of this fucking world, man. This is Satan's world right now. This Esau's world, man. That's why there's so much wickedness going on here, man. The Lord ain't with how this kingdom is being ran, man. You know? So we're not supposed to attach ourselves to the things that the Lord has had us to accumulate on this side. We just went through the list of what Yahweh Shai said that we have to be willing to forsake on this side, man. Because we're about to be pilgrims on the earth, man. So well, this different this current, situation that we find ourselves in, such as living situations, being able to eat when we want, drink when we want, wear good clothing and, shop around and just, functioning, have the things to function in this society, drive your cars and shit. That shit gonna be done away with in a little bit, man. As soon as that chip is implemented, that's a wrap for that, man. To where you're going to have to fully trust in your Yahweh Shema Shai, pull from that spiritual bank account, which is your treasures that you stored up in the heavens during this grace period, man. You see? And just have faith that Yahweh Shema Shai will be with us, man. Because that's what's gonna separate us from the people of this world. The people of this world don't give a damn about how the Lord is operating, man. It says, for all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. Yeah, lust of the eyes. You're seeing these people somewhat prosper, But all of that's going to be done away with, man. Because their rejoicing is about to be turned into great sorrow and mourning, man. It says, and the world passeth away, and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of the Most High abideth forever. You see? So this place is going to pass away. And how is that going to happen? Through thermonuclear fire, man. Because the things of this world are temporal. You see? The things which are seen are temporal. But the things which are not seen are eternal, man. That's what, that's where our minds should be at in these times, is in the heavens. And the things that's not seen. You see? Baruch 24 and verse 27, it says, be of good comfort, O my children, and cry unto Yahweh Shema Shai, for ye shall be remembered of him that brought these things upon you. Yeah. Be of good comfort, man. We've received the comforter in these last days for a reason, man. To be comforted. So even though we're in a lower state right now, what's the latter in? Us being exalted, us being honored, Lord said he was going to give us fame in a land where we will put to shame, man. So let these people have it, man. They got it for right now. Live it the fuck up, man. Here it is, the Lord told Esau to rejoice and be glad. So how much more for you 2/3 out there? Rejoice and be glad, man. Because you're about to be likened unto Esau. So you're going to get the same judgment as him, which is destruction. You see? It says, for as it was your mind to go astray from the Most High, so being returned, which reincarnation, seek him 10 times more. You see? And the reason why we in this lower state ultimately is because this is a punishment, man. The reason why shit ain't going your way right now is because of a fucking punishment, man. We ain't here to prosper in this world and to live, comfortably here, man. No, we ain't here for that. Yahweh Shai, when he came on the earth over 2,000 years ago, wasn't here to fucking prosper, you know? Remember, they tried to make Yahweh Shai king. But Yahweh Shai wasn't worried about that, man. He was only worried about what? Doing the will of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, man. Nothing more. That's why us being returned back into Yahweh Shai Shai through Yahweh Shai's sacrifice, we ought to seek him 10 times more. What? Seek ye the Lord early while he may be found. Because we're in a time where the Lord is not going to be found, man. 2/3 is not going to be able to find comfort once the Lord draw back this word, man. And they're going to fucking suffer. You see? It says, for he that have brought these plagues upon you shall bring you everlasting joy with your salvation. You see? So even though we're suffering the curses right now, if you paying attention through the spirit, you see the Lord is slowly taking these curses up off of us, man. But it's starting with the elect. And he's putting them upon our enemies, man. Deuteronomy 30:7. And with that, the Lord said he's going to bring us everlasting joy with our salvation, man. But that starts now. Rejoice ye heavens and ye that dwell in them. Roughly paraphrasing, you see? That's for the elect. The elect is rejoicing now. Why? Because the Lord already established the promises, man, which is ultimately salvation. The Lord is comforting us. We ain't finna, look, man, I'm not finna have y'all in this fucked up position too much longer. Just be patient when you change to a lower state. You see? Cleave unto me and depart not away. And you're going to be increased at your last end, which is salvation. You see? So this just waiting, man. You know? It's just about waiting. Lord willing, the Lord, you know, keep the spirit on us to continue to wait, man. And endure to the end, because that's what it's about, man. So fuck how these folks living, because at the end of the day, they going to fucking die, man. But we looking, the Lord willing, be delivered, man. So you ain't missing out on shit. Lord willing, that was edifying. I would like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Awashah, Bahashem Kakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, the men who taught me this truth. Peace and blessings be to the hopeful elect, you men, women, and little ones that believe on the words of Yahweh, Bahashem Awashah. Shalom.